Welcome to Smart English Stories. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more English stories. My name is Sarah, and I am so excited to talk to you today about something that has changed my life: reading. When I was young, I didn't like books. I thought they were boring. But one day, my mom gave me a storybook. It was about a girl, just like me, who found a magical world in her backyard. As I read, something amazing happened. I felt like I was there with her. I could see the trees, feel the breeze, and hear the birds. That day, I realized something special. When you read, you can go anywhere. Books are not just pages with words, they are doors to new worlds. When you open a book, you step into someone else's life. You might be a brave knight, a clever detective, or even a space explorer. Reading takes you on adventures you never imagined. But reading is not just about fun. It's about learning. Every time you read, you learn something new. It could be a new word, a new idea, or even a new way of thinking. Books make you smarter without you even noticing it. When I started reading more, I felt my world grow. I became more curious. I wanted to know more about everything, about the world, about people, and about myself. One of my favorite stories is about a boy who was always scared of everything. He was scared of the dark, scared of talking to people, and even scared of trying new things. But one day, he found a book. It was a book about courage. As he read, he learned that being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you keep going, even when you are. By the end of the story, he was still scared, but now he was brave enough to face his fears. That story taught me that books can change you. They help you see things differently. Reading also helps us connect with others. When we read about different people, we learn to understand them better. We feel what they feel, and this makes us kinder. We become better friends, better family members, and better people. I once met a girl who didn't have many friends. She felt alone most of the time. But then, she started reading stories about friendship. These stories made her realize that she wasn't alone after all. She understood that there were people out there who felt the same way she did. Soon, she found the courage to talk to new people, and guess what? She made friends. Books helped her open her heart. Reading is also a great way to relax. Sometimes, life gets hard. We feel stressed or worried. But when you pick up a book, you can escape for a little while. You can leave your troubles behind and dive into a story that makes you feel happy and calm. It's like a little vacation for your mind. Let me share a small tip. Try to read a little every day. It doesn't matter if it's just one page or even a few lines. The more you read, the more you will love it. And soon, you'll find yourself reaching for a book instead of your phone or TV remote. Another tip is to read what you love. Don't worry about what others are reading. If you love stories about animals, read those. If you love mysteries, dive into them. There's no wrong way to read. It's all about finding what makes you happy. One day, I found a book about a young girl who was trying to find her purpose in life. She didn't know what she was good at, and this made her sad. But as she read stories about other people's lives, she realized that everyone has a different journey. Some people find their purpose early, while others take longer. But that's okay. The important thing is to keep learning and growing. This story taught me that books don't just entertain us, they help us find ourselves. I want to leave you with a thought: reading is a gift. It's a way to see the world through different eyes, to feel emotions you've never felt before, and to learn things that can change your life. So, pick up a book, let it take you on a journey, and who knows, you might just discover something amazing. As I was saying, reading is more than just words on a page. It's a key to understanding the world around us and within us. Let me tell you about another time when reading made a big difference in my life. There was a moment when I felt completely lost. I didn't know what direction to take, and I was filled with doubt and fear. Then, I found a book about a woman who faced many challenges in her life but kept going, no matter how hard things got. As I read her story, I realized something important: even when life seems difficult, we can keep moving forward, one step at a time. That book became my guide. Whenever I felt scared or uncertain, I remembered her strength and courage. Books have a way of showing us that we are not alone in our struggles. There's always someone who has faced the same challenges before us, and through their stories, we can find the strength to carry on. Another wonderful thing about reading is that it helps you grow your imagination. Have you ever noticed how you start imagining the scenes, the characters, and the places in your mind when you read a book? It's like your brain is painting a picture, making the story come alive inside your head. And the more you read, the more vivid these pictures become. When I was younger, I used to read books about faraway lands and magical creatures. As I read, I could see everything so clearly in my mind: the castles, the dragons, the enchanted forests. It was like my own personal movie playing in my head. And the best part? I was the director. I got to decide what everything looked like. This ability to imagine is so important, not just for kids, but for all of us. When you use your imagination, you start to think more creatively. You find new ways to solve problems. You see the world differently, and you start to dream bigger dreams. Here's another story I want to share. There was a boy I knew who didn't like reading. He thought it was boring and a waste of time. But then, one day, he picked up a book about his favorite sport, football. As he read about the players, their struggles, and their victories, he found himself getting lost in the story. Soon, he was reading more and more, not just about football, but about other things too. He discovered that reading wasn't boring at all, it was exciting, just like the games he loved. That's the thing about reading. Once you find the right book, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun. You start looking forward to that quiet time when you can sit down with your book and disappear into another world. And you know what else? Reading helps you become a better person. When you read about different people, different cultures, and different ways of life, you start to understand the world better. You learn to see things from other people's points of view. This makes you more open-minded and compassionate. I remember reading a book about a girl who came from a country very different from mine. Her life was hard, and she had to face many difficulties that I had never experienced. But through her story, I started to understand what it felt like to be in her shoes. I felt her pain, her joy, and her hope. That book taught me to be more empathetic, to see the world through someone else's eyes. Books can also give us hope. Sometimes life feels overwhelming, and we don't know how to keep going. But when you read a story about someone who has overcome great obstacles, it can give you the strength to face your own challenges. You realize that if they could do it, so can you. I once read a story about a man who lost everything: his home, his family, and his job. He was at rock bottom, and it seemed like there was no way out. But instead of giving up, he decided to fight back. He worked hard, stayed positive, and eventually rebuilt his life. That story stayed with me because it showed me that no matter how bad things get, there is always a way forward. And that's what I want to tell you today. Reading is not just about entertainment or learning new facts. It's about finding inspiration, hope, and the strength to keep going, even when life is tough. Now, let me give you another tip. If you ever feel like you don't have time to read, try carrying a book with you wherever you go. You'd be surprised how many moments in the day you can steal for reading while you're waiting in line, during a break at work, or even just before bed. Little by little, those moments add up, and before you know it, you'll have finished an entire book. Another great idea is to read with a friend. You can both read the same book and then talk about it afterward. It's fun to share your thoughts and hear someone else's perspective. You might even notice things in the story that you missed before. And don't forget about audiobooks. If you find it hard to sit down and read, you can listen to a story while you're doing other things like cooking, cleaning, or even exercising. Audiobooks bring the story to life, and they're a great way to enjoy books if you're always on the go. Before I finish, let me tell you one last story. There was a girl who had a big dream. She wanted to change the world, but she didn't know how. She felt small and unsure of herself. Then, one day, she read a book about a woman who had done something incredible. She had worked hard, followed her passion, and made a difference in people's lives. That story inspired the girl. It showed her that no dream is too big, and that if you believe in yourself and keep working, you can achieve anything. That girl was me. Books have given me the courage to dream big and the confidence to go after those dreams. They have shown me that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. So, as I stand here today, I want to leave you with this thought: reading is not just a hobby. It's a journey that can take you to places you've never been, introduce you to people you've never met, and teach you things you never knew. It can make you smarter, kinder, and braver. And most of all, it can help you find yourself. So, pick up a book today. Let it take you on an adventure. Let it open your mind, touch your heart, and change your life. Thank you